All right, everybody, let's get started here at 5:17. We have a lot to discuss this evening regarding the end of this week, coming into Friday, and next week as well. Going to be very, very eventful. So let's get started here. Going kind of slow. Going to wait till we get some more viewers on. But anyway, for the ones that are currently watching, we'll go ahead and get started here. Take a look outside right now. It's currently the wind speeds are not too bad out there. It's nice compared to what we've been having. It's been crazy out there wind speed wise. Winds are out of the south-southwest at only 2 miles per hour. We'll take it. And temperature is only 42 degrees outside. But the good news, well, it's kind of some good news and bad news. But anyway, haven't had any rainfall today. But the good news is it is going to warm up. And like I said, with the warm up, we all know that that can mean some bad news as well. We'll get into that here in just a minute. But let's take a look at radar, of course. Clear scan out there. I know you can't really see it from my camera being in the way. Let me move that real quick. But yeah, clear scan across the area out there. Not anything going on at the moment. But we have a ton to discuss tonight, so I hope we get a lot of people on. We'll start with tonight's forecast. Looks like it'll get down to a low around 30 degrees. It's going to be pretty chilly out there tonight. For tomorrow, we warm up. Some areas seeing almost 60 degrees for tomorrow. So it's going to be a very, very warm day tomorrow. For this time of year, it's going to feel pretty good out there, and I really hope we get more than 5 people on because there's a lot of information I got to share. But anyway, forecast outlook, this is where discussion comes in. There's going to be a lot of models I'm sharing on here for everybody to see. So forecast weather map, of course. Let me see if I can adjust that a little bit. It'll be okay, I guess. Forecast weather map anyway, calling for Thursday, high 56 to 58 degrees with a low of 40 to 47. It'll be a pleasant day, the calm before the storm, as I was saying. Take time to tie down your items or bring inside loose outdoor objects. Yes, we're going to be under the gun again, possibly Friday. Either way, looks like some very high winds coming in. And hello, Shelby Watts. Glad to see we got a lot of people coming on now. Anyway, Friday, that's when we're concerned. Now, let me straighten this graphic up because I don't know why. I'm just picky. It's driving me crazy. Forgive me for that. Let me straighten this up just a little bit. There we go. Now I'm satisfied. Okay, anyway, Friday, it'll be high 58 to 60. So it's going to warm up. Sustained winds will be gusting anywhere between 20 and 30 with gusts up to 40 and 50 miles per hour. Here's the bad news. Strong to severe storms will also be possible. That does include North Alabama as well. Hazards include hail, damaging winds, and frequent lightning. Still really early to determine whether we'll have tornadoes or not. That's going to depend on a lot. We'll take a look at the models in a minute and get a better idea of that. But Sunday, after moving on, well, Saturday, I'm skipping Saturday. As we move on from the storm, Saturday it'll be a high of only 41 to 44 degrees with a low of 23 to 28. You'll definitely feel that cooler air. It'll be cool and calm. Breezy conditions will linger through the day, yet it'll be sunny. Sunday, we get some clouds in here. Cold front moves on through officially Sunday night, bringing a very cold start to the next week. Wintry precipitation will be possible overnight Sunday into Monday with low accumulations expected. A lot of uncertainty with that system, though. Let me say that. A lot of uncertainty. We'll take a look at temps, though, and there's that big Arctic front moving on through from the north. Now, this is actually what you've probably heard of, a polar vortex coming in. And it looks like it may make it down here. Now, look at those temperatures, how cool we get from Monday to Tuesday and then Wednesday to Thursday and then on into Friday and Saturday. Just look at that colder air from the north just plunge in here. That's temperatures of 12 degrees with wind chills, of course, possibly below zero in some spots. Now, that's lows overnight. It'll be about 12 degrees. That's not during the day. Highs during the day, probably upper 20s or something like that. A lot of uncertainty exists with that. So, that being said, a lot of uncertainty with it. So, we'll take a look, move on to what we possibly might have come in next week. Now, this is regarding snow and sleet. It's looking more like a freezing rain threat, but there could be some snow. Radar is showing some snow, some mixed precipitation, but I'm leaning more toward the mixed precipitation side. Of course, this is Monday and going on into, of course, Tuesday. It's out of here. So, looks like it'll move in sometime around Monday. Sunday night, Mondays when we could see that, and it is very unpredictable around here. It's been just crazy lately. We'll look at the 6 through 10 day outlook. Speaking of temperatures, there's that about 60 to 70% chance below average temperatures expected between the 17th to Tuesday, the 23rd of January. We'll move on just a little bit further than that. We'll move on to Monday, the 15th, to Friday, The 19th, that's when the coldest air comes in. That's the polar vortex you're hearing about, everybody talk about a 70 or 80 to 90% chance of below average temperatures between that time period, meaning it's going to get very cold short term. It's going to get cold out there, so be ready for it. Rainfall outlook, of course, 50-50. We could have some rain between the 15th to Friday the 19th. Most areas stay dry unless you're further south of our area and southeast. You got a better chance of some rainfall down there, but up north, either way, it could be dry, could be a little bit of rain. Moving on from there to the 8 through 14 day outlook, and it is showing below average chances for rainfall, meaning it more than likely is going to be dry between the 17th to the 23rd, and that equals up with that dry but cold air mass that's going to come in from the north. So it's going to get cold as we go on into the time period there. Let's take a look at the GFS here. Of course, I didn't really set that one correctly, so let's move on from the GFS actually, because I forgot to set that one. And I also forgot to set the precipitation, so we'll just skip that and move to the SPC. The Storm Prediction Center outlook, of course, this is where we're pretty concerned about things as far as severe weather goes. Now, you can see we got a slight risk of severe thunderstorms, which is a level 3 or level 2 out of 5. I'm sorry. Level 2 out of 5 there, slight risk of severe thunderstorms for just about all of Alabama, excluding North Alabama. North Alabama being under a level 1 out of 2, which is a marginal risk. So we do have a threat of some severe thunderstorms up here. But further south is southeast going into parts of Georgia and southeast Alabama, level 3. All modes of severe weather possible down there, including large tornadoes, long track tornadoes, damaging winds, hail, etc. All expected down there. And we do expect some shifts in this pattern as we go through tomorrow and even into Friday. This slight risk could go further north depending on if the energy carries a bit further north than what the models are showing at the moment. Right now, that's what we got, so still a lot of uncertainty with that. Here's the storm system that's actually going to come in. You see we got a nice little squall line there. These will be storms along a squall line. Of course, with a squall line, you can have damaging winds, isolated tornadoes, all that, bad news. But it looks like there'll be a squall line, but there could be some multi-cells develop ahead of that. I'm seeing that happen. Some of those multi-cells developing out ahead of that squall line, and that would be where you would get the big tornadoes. When you can get those cells separate and they start rotating, those individual cells can get a lot of energy built up in them because they're by themselves, they're discrete. Those cells that develop ahead of the line, we'll have to really keep a close eye on them as we go on into the time period there. Moving on into Friday. So make sure you're weather aware. Pay attention. This system is a very intense system, and I'll give you an idea just how intense. Let's move on to the energy helicity. Now this is the energy for the storms. As you can see, a little dark patch coming up through here, but most of the energy is south of us. However, we do have a little bit of energy that'll make its way up into our area as well, which would give us a little bit of a severe weather threat. Damaging winds, maybe some hail, heavy rainfall looks to be the primary threats right now, but that will change as we get into the next few days. Right now, that energy staying south of our area, around southeast Alabama and further south. As you can see, it just kind of hangs out south of us. Of course, it'll update again tomorrow. Now, this will really give you an idea just how intense of a system we have. I haven't seen the bulk shear look like this in quite a long time. Now look at that. The darker the color, the higher the winds. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit there and actually give you an idea just how intense these are. There's actually a meter down here, okay? So 55, 60, 65. So the darker the color, the higher the winds. So take a look at that. That's some high winds. That's some decent wind shear right there to work with. So it's going to be very windy. This system looks a bit more intense than the last one we just had, which was a day or so ago. The wind shear looks a good bit more intense than what it did with that one. So definitely a lot of wind shear. You got all those ingredients, wind shear, and all that energy, and there's a lot of energy with this storm. And we'll actually look at the Cape values, which shows a bit of that energy. And there's most of the energy, and you see some of it does come up this way. So we'll definitely have to keep a very close eye on these systems as it does move through Friday. It is a possibility that we could get a shift further north and we could get under that slight risk, or it could shift further south. I'm looking at two different models here that shows it could go either way at this point, but it does look like the most intense stays south of us. My main concern is going to be when we get those cells ahead of the main line and they get kind of discreet. That'll be the cells that I really watch, but along the squall line there'll also be some that could be severe with that. So prepare for it now. Don't wait, as Huntsville said. And we'll actually take one more look at that, since we got some new people on here that are just now joining us. Give you a bit of an idea what we're expecting. So, forecast weather map, we're going to run through this again. Thursday, nice day. Get out and enjoy it. It'll be sunny. High 56 to 58. Some areas may even go into the 60s. So, it'll be, of course, about low 60s. It won't be very, high up or anything. It'll just be 60. It'll be a nice day. Lows will be 40 to 47. It'll be a pleasant day. They say calm before the storm, and they're right. Friday, very windy. Sustained winds of 20 to 30 miles per hour, but gusts up to 40 or 50 miles per hour. It's going to be another one of those deals. Also, strong to severe storms will be possible. Hazards will include hail, damaging winds, and frequent lightning. They're leaving the tornado threat out for now, which is, probably the best because it's hard to predict. We'll move on from Friday to Saturday. Get some of that cooler air coming in. Saturday, sunny, high 41 to 44, low 23 to 28. It'll be cool and calm with some breezy conditions, but it'll be sunny overall. Sunday, clouds come in, high 45 to 49. Main cold front moves through. Sunday night, bringing a very cold start to the week, of course. Wintry precipitation is possible overnight Sunday into Monday with low accumulations. However, we're still very uncertain on next week. So it could go from low accumulations to decent accumulations to no accumulations. So basically, those are the three scenarios we could have. But something we are also keeping an eye on is going to be the polar vortex everybody's been hearing about, which is going to bring a lot of cooler air in here next week and even on further. So we'll update as that comes across, but right now it's still really far out. So that being said, that's what we got. Thanks for watching, everybody. Going to get ready to wrap it up for YouTube. It's currently 5:29. Stay weather aware. Get those items tied down. Make sure at all times, you have ways to receive warnings, etc. on Friday, because it's going to get interesting. Let's put it that way. Take care. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and hope you will like and subscribe to our channel.